Welcome to another episode of the Southern Boating Podcast. I'm Ian Sneed.
I'm James Anderson.
And in our July issue, we released an article talking about family-friendly destinations. Now, today, what we're going to do is we're going to touch on two of them. Now, if I remember right, we had about 10 of them, and it spans the entire U.S., right? So everything from Lake Tahoe, which I grew up actually hearing about all my friends going to Lake Tahoe, although I myself did not ever get to do it. Yeah, that's why we're not going to talk about that one. It brings up bad memories. Outside of that, we're going to, everything from Lake Tahoe all the way to Alabama, Mississippi. We have stuff all across the country in this article.
From the West Coast to the East Coast, right here in this article.
It's a great
full
article.
Of great locations. I personally have experience of two of these locations that we're going to talk about. Number one being the one that I actually grew up as a little kid going to in the summers, which is Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri. Right in the dead heart of the country. Doesn't get any better. This is a big, beautiful lake. It's a dammed up lake, so it's man-made.
Yeah.
Right?
And I love all of the things that you can do there. I'm really excited to actually start touching on those because I realized, wow, this isn't just kid-friendly. This is adult wants to touch into his younger self when he was a kid and he didn't get to do the fun stuff. It's that kind of friendly. I love it.
Because if I go back now, it puts me right in touch with my childhood and enjoying all the same things. Maybe a little bit more now, but again, enjoying all of the same things. Getting into it, this is...
One second.
Oh, you better.
Remember to hit the subscribe button, click the like icon. Yeah, it's an icon. Click the like icon and then the notification bell so you're notified every time a new video comes out.
All right.
Boom.
Now that you interrupted me with forgetting the important stuff. So this is a huge, huge lake. Man-made. It's one of the largest man-made lakes, but even the next lake we'll talk about is a little bit bigger. But there is so much to do here, from water skiing to any water activity, fishing, camping, hiking. There is just so much you can do around there. There are resorts to go to. One of them we mentioned in the article, which is Margaritaville. Mm-hmm. I have not been to that resort.
Right.
I mean, because I'm interested in doing other things while I'm at the lake. But that is a great family location to actually go and visit because there's a lot of activities at that resort itself that they can get into, to have the kiddos actually occupy some of their time, because they're always interested in doing something fun and constantly pulling on you to do such.
And one thing, so since I haven't been here, this article actually helps me a lot, visualize what you can do here. And one of the things that is in it is it's like a 90-mile dragon-shaped type of lake.
Yeah, so they got a nickname of calling it the Dragon Lake, right? Because it does have that. It's what it is. It's the Osage River that was dammed up in 1931, and ever since then, it created this great reservoir of just lots of fun. It used to be a little bit of just small towns around the lake, but there is a lot of development that's gone on over the years. I remember going in the 80s, and to look at it now, it's a completely different lake, right? Yeah. The amount of traffic is different. But that's not to exclude. This lake's so big, you can find places that offer you solitude. You can still get that small town vibe around the lake.
Yeah, I think you can find. I'm sure you can find coves. You can find, but at the same
plenty
time,
of coves to be found.
With the shape of the lake and the length of it itself, it's great for water sports. If you want to do water sports with the kids, if they're learning how to do water skiing or wakeboarding,
that's
whatever.
Actually where I learned to water ski.
See.
So it's water skiing, tubing, kayaking. It's all there on this lake. Plenty of coves to sneak off into, whether there's the most popular coves like Party Cove. Everybody's always heard of Party Cove. From those to the very secluded and solitude feelings of coves that you can get, right? So you can go swimming. You can do a ton of stuff in those coves. There's some big events that go on at the lake. We all know about the races that go on in Lake of the Ozarks, trying to get the fastest boat. We know some people that have won that several times.
Yeah.
John Kosker from Mystic. So he's famous up there as well. It's there's just so much to do on this lake. I can't really get into all of it, but it's famous for a movie, in fact, too, right?
Yeah.
The Netflix, I think, is what it is.
The
Ozarks.
The show, yeah.
Right?
Show.
It's movie, it's series, whatever they call it anymore.
Right, whatever they call it, yeah. But what I like is the fact that you can, rent pontoons, multi-day rentals, right? So maybe you're out there, you don't live out there, but you're visiting out there. You can still get out on the water. You can still get out on the boats. You can still go out and have a great time.
Absolutely.
You don't have to leave that boating love back home. You can bring it with you here.
There's plenty of places to get boat rentals, from the marinas to the big resorts. You can stay at a big resort like the one that we mentioned earlier, or there's plenty of rental houses around the lake that you can actually go to. You can bring your own boat. There's plenty of boat ramps to access. You know, it's just there's a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah.
And with 90 miles or close to 90 miles of lake, you know, it's
there's so much.
endless exploring.
Right.
Quite literally endless exploring.
It's 1,100 miles, right, of shoreline.
Yes.
Yeah. And now, touching on that, you mentioned earlier that the next topic we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so let's jump onto this one because this is another one that's
it's massive.
It's really, if you love the water and you want to experience some freshwater lakes and make some great memories, I would put this one on the bucket list. These two have to be on your bucket list, at least my bucket list.
They're on my bucket list. Like after reading about them, they're
The next one is Lake Cumberland in Kentucky, southern Kentucky, right? Not too far off of I-75, a little bit due west, basically. This is the boathouse capital of the world.
Yes.
Right? There are more boathouses on this lake than any other lake in the country. And I say the world, but that it's tagline, right?
Right.
But still, I mean, so this is where you want to go and rent a boathouse and experience it with your family for a week. And again, this has even more shoreline and is a little bit longer of a lake. So again, endless exploring.
And exploring endless activities because of all the things that you can do. So the reason I like this one is because I've driven through Kentucky and it's a beautiful state. It's absolutely stunning.
Yes.
And I wanted to stop and do bourbon tastings because, you know, you can get some good Kentucky bourbon there. I wanted to stop and do some of that. I didn't realize, I mean, I saw how beautiful it was with nature. I didn't realize that there were lakes like this there, which, you know, now that I think about it, is a silly thing to assume that there wasn't, right? But so as I read about this, and I'm like, okay, it's great for hiking, for beach going, because the shoreline is 1,255 miles.
Correct.
Compared to the 1,100 that we were just talking about with the Lake of the Ozarks.
Right.
So both massive amounts of shoreline, but this one is still just a little bit bigger.
This is just a little bit bigger. Again, it's a dammed up river. So you're looking at, this was the Cumberland River that was dammed up. And a little bit later in 1952 is when this lake was created. But it offers a lot of the same stuff. So you can get, with more shoreline, you can have 101 miles of lake to tour, right?
Yeah.
With that 1,255 miles of shoreline. So again, endless opportunities to go discover coves to swim in. One of the things that's unique about this lake is it has a state park on it. Now, the other ones have parks on them too, the state parks and so forth.
Of course.
But this one is more of a resort state park,
Yeah.
right? Which is interesting. So it's got golf courses on it, a lot more activities to do at the state park.
Yeah, I saw the mini golf on this one.
Yep. There's just a lot to do.
So both of these are extremely family friendly, but it's also even like a retreat friendly, right? So if you and a few friends want to get away somewhere, both of these lakes provide that opportunity where you can have a retreat and have like an adult relaxing kind of a weekend or week away.
Absolutely.
I loved all of the activities that you can do here.
These are very vacation centric, and the whole area, the economic area or the economics of that area is built around tourism mainly.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what they're trying to attract. There are private homes, but there's also a lot of homes for rent, and there's resorts as well. So, you know, it's whatever, however you like staying and whatever you want to do, because both of them have boat rentals. You can almost rent anything you like, and especially Cumberland, you can rent. They're famous for the boathouses and renting those. That's a lot of fun because you have all the luxuries of your hotel room or house that you're renting on the lake, and you're touring in it, right? You're basically going to move once a day, find a spot, and chill out. It's a lot of fun.
So if you want to learn more, make sure to check out the July issue of Southern Boating. We talk about, again, other places, everything from Alabama, Mississippi. We have obviously Florida with Tampa Bay and St. Petersburg. We talked about Lake Tahoe in California, Mackinac Island, which it's a huge favorite. There's so many places, you know, North Carolina. There's so many places
there's
here.
a lot. Lake Norman in North Carolina is another great one. So I mean, there's just a lot. You know, it's unbelievable. I highly suggest, if you're interested in traveling around the country and need to know some spots or wanting to try and find some resources, this is a great article to read because it's going to give you some ideas.
Absolutely.
Right? And if you haven't been thinking about them, it's going to make you think about them.
It really will. Yeah, it has me thinking about it. I'm like, why am I not going there this summer? What?
Yeah, exactly. Where are you going after your big date this late summer?
That's right. That's right.
You need to find a vacation spot. Here you go. This is for you.
Yeah. And we hope everyone's having a happy and safe Independence Day weekend. I forgot to mention that at the beginning.
Yeah, yesterday was Independence Day.
Yeah.
So happy Independence Day to America.
Yep.
And until next time, I'm James Anderson.
I'm Ian Sneed.
We'll catch you next episode.